Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Debt Ain't My Daddy. How are you guys today on this beautiful Sunday? For those of you that do not know me, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping people see stuff they cannot financially see. I did that backwards. I hate it when I don't let it flow like that. By helping them financially see. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see. See how that flowed? That's how I wanted it the first time. But since it's live, you guys get to see all the mistakes I make on videos instead of editing. Anyway, how I let them see, how I help people see is by helping them realize the majority, 85% of Americans are inside what I call the debt matrix. It's a box. Everybody lives here that believes in credit and debt, and everybody that lives here only speaks debt. Money is spoken in a couple languages. Money is spoken on different frequencies. If you've been in debt all your life, you live here. You only speak debt and you only talk to other people in debt. Trust me, it's a whole different language when you're outside of the debt matrix. And how I help people recognize this is what I do is expose the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix is this. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. Because math and money are one. They're one. The only thing that can separate math and money are feelings. Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean by that too? I'll tell you. If I said to you, how do you feel about 5 plus 5 equaling 10? Does it make you happy, sad, jump for joy? Does it make you excited, want to celebrate? Probably not. It's just 10, right? It doesn't matter how you feel about it. So when you go out and finance a car and you see the sticker price, which gets you on the lot, and you say like the car is $20,000, but as soon as you crack your lips to say you want to finance it for 72 months, and you look to the back of the paperwork, that's your sale price at the end of the 72-month contract. You logically know with math that if you go and finance that car, you're not paying $20,000 for that car. You're paying more for the car than what it's worth. That's mathematically impossible for you to ever get financially ahead if you keep financing things that go down in value. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. People with mortgages believe they're homeowners, knowing they have a mortgage. Those are the glitches that I'm exposing. What I do for you, if you decide to reach out to me at DebtAintMyDaddy@gmail.com, this is what I do. The first thing I'll do is organize all your stuff so you can see it. That's going to be the hardest part for most people, to actually know the financial damage that they have done to themselves. You got to get over that. A lot of people don't even want to see it, don't know it, don't want to know how deep they are in debt. Anyway, today's topic is how taxes can help you build wealth. Now, in the debt matrix, everybody believes taxes are the very things that's keeping them down. But we must have a tax structure. It has to be in place. And the only way I could know this or see this is get out of debt. Once I was out of debt, I was like, oh, you can do this instead of that. Everything has a different way of doing things, right? And what I have to tell you is something came to light to me after speaking to a person on the phone a couple days ago, right? This person had told me that, on your tax form, you can check the box exempt, right, from taxes. Then they won't even take any taxes out of your check. The job won't, whatever. And it leaves you to pay your taxes yourself, okay? Well, if you're in debt, being in debt can get you into big trouble, because if you don't know you're in debt before you check that box, you're going to be even deeper in debt. Now you're going to be in trouble, right? And then if you go to file for file for bankruptcy, Chapter 13 is your only option because you can't bankrupt IRS debt, right? So I was thinking, once you get out of debt, and this is personally speaking, once you get out of debt, you have money, okay? Because you'll see, I saw all the mistakes, I saw the, plain and simple, I saw all the things that I was financing that go down in value: cars, clothes, the wash and dryer, furniture, phones, all the things that go down in value. It's like a double-edged sword for a while. Once you become debt free, I could see, I went through a phase. I get down, I don't really get depressed, but I went through about a year phase of just seeing all the things I was financing going down in value. I had not a clue how much debt I was in. It's just the craziest thing. And I was just living life like it was normal, you know? Every time I got paid every 2 weeks back then, it would go down and down and down. I know exactly how much it went down to, about, a few $100s in my bank account. I would mentally know how to calculate this. And then my check would come in and fill it back up to whatever my paycheck was. And I would just keep doing that. Hence, paycheck to paycheck, right? That wasn't even a hint to me out of all the years. I've been working since age 15. 15. And I was still living paycheck to paycheck all my life and thought it was just normal. I thought it was just normal, and it wasn't. But that should have been hint. Anyway, those things come to light. And then once I got out of debt, I had money, right? I remember the first year I got out of debt, right? I didn't have no bills. I mean, except now, when I say no bills, I'm not talking about the things that keep me alive: food, shelter, clothes, electricity, water. Trust me, those are not the things. Those were not the things that were keeping me in debt. All right, those were not. All right, I was just in debt, looking at those items, thinking, "Oh man, electricity is so high. Oh man, water is so high. Oh, rent is so high." It's like all I had to do was turn to say, "Linnell, you sure it ain't that car you got, that Lexus you're driving? Linnell, you sure it ain't that leather furniture you're financing? That could be it. That could be it, Linnell." But I wasn't, and realizing this, not realizing this, the more money I made, you hear these statements like in the debt matrix. You hear these statements. Oh wow, the more money you make, the more money they take. You just hear it. But I never stopped once and said, "What does that mean?" Nobody came to me and said, "Hey, Linnell, do you know what your tax bracket is?" I was like, and even if they would have asked me, I would have said, what's that? Right? Step outside the debt matrix. It's clear as day what that means, right? Once I got outside the debt matrix, I could see how it all works now. I was like, oh man. So you mean to tell me, hey, Ill Willis, good morning. Listening. Oh, uh-huh. Okay. All right. Needs food. Yep, exactly. Just, let me tell you something, Ill Willis. When you get outside the debt matrix, life is not expensive at all. It was just the things I was doing. Once I stepped outside the debt matrix, I could see how the taxes work. Now I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me if I max out, sorry, I was just thinking about it for a second. All right, let me come back. You mean to tell me, Linnell, if I max out I'm talking to myself, to the old me, right? You mean to tell me if I max out my 401k, not only do I get to save money for retirement, I get to take off that same amount every single year. This is guaranteed return, people. Guaranteed money savings, guaranteed return on investment every single year. I could not see that. Why I couldn't see it? Because I was in debt. I couldn't afford to max out my 401k every year. That should have been a clue, but it wasn't. Okay. It's like right now, this year, $19,000 you can put in your 401k. Okay. Not only do I get to put $19,000 in my savings or in my retirement, I get to also take that same $19,000 off my annual income. That drops me in the tax bracket. Now I think about money collectively instead of individually. Now, if the majority of people, which is 85% of Americans, that cannot afford to max out their 401k, they can't take advantage of this tax savings. They can't. It's mathematically impossible for them. It was mathematically impossible for me. Every year I could have been dropped saving that money every single year in my pocket. That's why you can't go back and say, hey, you know what? I missed the last 10 years of taking the opportunity of maxing out my 401k. The government goes, sorry. Oh, you woke up. This is the government talking to me. Oh, you woke up. Nah, too late. Sorry, you can't go back. Sorry. Right? And I was thinking about that. I was like, I got mad at myself. I was looking at this Lexus I was in. I was clean Lexus, don't get me wrong. Everybody loved to look at it, but I was only fooling other people in debt matrix. I was paying taxes and interest on a depreciating object. Now, today, I understand that cars are depreciating objects. I just mitigate my losses by paying cash or paying half price for that depreciating object from another person in debt trouble. That way I can't lose on a depreciating object. I buy it below Blue Book, drive it for a year, drive it for a few years, and sell it at Blue Book to another person that wants to finance it. That means those few years that I drove it for absolutely free. Do you understand? I couldn't see that. Even if you told me when I was living in the debt matrix, I couldn't see that. Anyway, back to the taxes. Now, I came across a person I spoke with on the phone that reached out to me. Of course, I'm not going to say people's names because I don't do that. This is private stuff, right? He helped me realize something. There is a box on your tax return. You can say, hey, I'm tax exempt. Now I used to see that, right? And I go, back then I was scared of taxes because I was scared of them because I didn't understand about taxes. And I thought, if I check that box and mess up, an IRS agent's going to be knocking on my door. This is how, and I was only afraid of it because I didn't understand taxes. So I just like, nah, I'm going to let my job do it. I don't want to worry about that, bloggity blah. But this is, I'm going to give you an example of what that sounds like outside the debt matrix. Say like you're into football, okay? And when you're watching a game or even playing the game, right? When you're watching the game, let's say like you're playing the game. You're playing football, right? When you're suited up and you're ready to go on the field, are you scared of the referees on the field? You're like, oh my God, how many referees are there? There's one down there, there's one back here. Oh my God, I hope I don't. No, you're not even thinking about the referees. You know why? Because you understand the rules of the game. Now, if you run out there and face mask somebody and the referee catches you, you're not going to be really mad. You'll probably be upset that he caught you, but you're going to know why he caught you because you face mask, right? Same thing with taxes. Take the time to understand the taxes. Take the time to read the rules. An IRS agent's not going to come knocking on your door because they know IRS agents, they're not the tax system itself. They're following the rules of another entity that governs the tax system. They can't come knocking on your door and just make up any rules they want. Their handbook is the same handbook that you can read yourself or hire a person that understands this handbook well. Now, I know you get confused. I'm kind of a little bit off here, but I want you guys to see something. There are so many people out there that'll help you try to do your taxes, right? Certified, uncertified. You notice it's like the wild, wild west out there. Hey, my friend down the street, they do taxes. Oh, they can get so much money back. You don't know if that person knows what they know because you don't know, right? How to tell? If somebody has to do my taxes, let me see your personal credit report. If you see their personal credit report and they got collections, IRS debt, they got all this stuff on their credit report, why in the world, if you knew that, there was no way you'd let that person do your taxes. But you don't know that. You're just worried about how much money they're going to get back for you. And they could be riding the fence because if they mess up, the IRS person doesn't come after the person that prepared your taxes. They come after you. That's your problem. And if you get in trouble, that's your problem to go after that person. Good luck. Good luck. But anyway, once I saw that, I was like, if you look on your taxes, there's a box you can check and say tax exempt. That means you can do your taxes yourself. Now, a lot of people won't do that, but this person did, and I'm not even picking on that person. I know he's not the only. I know this person is not the only person. No. That box is there for a reason, else they wouldn't put it on the form. You know what it is? Once you're 100% debt free, I realized a lot of things. You can see a lot of things now. You can do your own taxes. You can check that box. Because if you don't have any debt, you have money. You have cash in the bank. So when the year comes up, you will have the money to pay the proper amount of taxes. You will, I promise you. There won't be no mistaking. You won't say, oops, oh, I didn't know this was coming. And then imagine this. This is what I was thinking to myself this morning. Instead of giving taxes to the IRS all the year, imagine what you could do with that money that could be in an investment vehicle, growing somewhere, right? You just hire a tax professional. How can I say this? I'm giving you the advice to share with your tax professional, all right? And they will know your tax professional. If you're debt free, your tax professional will know you're debt free. They will know that you know money, right? And you will how to hire the proper, the smart type of tax investor that probably worth every penny that whatever their fee is. Ask to see their personal credit report. I know it's a weird question, but once you're debt free, your credit report will look different. Unlike the majority of others, it will. All right. And if their credit report doesn't look like your credit report, and you want to know what this looks like, go to my Facebook, That Ain't My Daddy. Go look. I post my credit report every single month. Go look at it. Okay. It's one page, one item on there. Okay. That's how once you start this journey, once I help you on your path to get this, that's how your credit report will look. Okay. It's unlike the majority. The only one that'll compare to it, right? Somebody that just turned 18 and they're just starting credit. That's how your credit report will look. Just like that, right? But at this age, it'll look like that with knowledge. That's the only difference. At 18, you don't know you're free. You don't know that because you got the majority of people in debt. You need to get credit. You need to do this. You need to get a house. You need to get a house. You need to build credit so you can get a house one day. This is not realizing if I was 18 now, if I had this knowledge at 18 now, I would be like, aren't you supposed to buy a house with money? Aren't you supposed to buy a cat? What does it take to buy a house, car, anything in life? Money. Not other people's money, your money. Okay? If I had known that, damn, I hate it when I lose my train of thought like that. Oh, crap. I was on a roll here too, man. Anyway, let me just start where I think I was starting. Anyway, can you imagine checking that box because it's there for a reason? You save all that money in taxes, put it in investment vehicles, hire a proper tax person and say, put this in there and figure out how much this tax person can do all that for you. You don't really have to know taxes. You get the right person, right? You say, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. You figure out the proper amount of taxes that I'm going to need to pay the IRS, the local taxes, the state taxes, the federal taxes, whatever. Put that in a separate account. So when that's due, you just write a check, electronic transfer, whatever you want to do. And it's there. Can you imagine? When that person told me that, a light went off in my head. I was like, holy moly. I can use that money during the year to invest in whatever I want to invest in and still be on the legal playing field with my taxes. This type of stuff can prepare you for your own business. It can prepare you for you when you're debt free. You could see it. I can see how it all works. Every day I talk to a person. You guys that reach out to me when I walk out in the everyday world, Everybody gives me all my information that I need. People don't even know they're giving me this information to help other people. There's so much stuff you can't hear or see when you're in debt. You know, you're in the debt matrix, and everybody's like, "Oh, life is so hard. Oh man, these taxes are killing me." And this is the biggest thing. Oh man, this is the listen what I'm about to tell you, so you can understand what I'm saying. That people don't even hear themselves what they're saying, right? We'll go back and forth online. I'll go back and forth online with people about houses, right? Oh, you should, don't get an FHA loan. This the only loan you should be getting is conventional loan, blah, 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 right? And then somebody will chime in and say, hey, you still never own a house because of taxes. The government still blah, 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 whatever. They always say stuff like that. You know what I come back with? Then how come millions of people are financing something that they will never own? Why are they doing it? There is a reason, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not ever buy a house. I'm not ever saying finance a house. I'm saying when a person says that to you, you turn to them and say, how come, if you know you'll never truly own a house because of taxes, why are millions of people financing them? Why are millions of people have mortgages? Why are millions of people with mortgages claiming they're a homeowner when they know they're not? If you cannot with taxes, you're not with a mortgage. Why are millions of people claiming to be homeowners? Why are they doing that? It doesn't make sense, right? Because they don't know what they're saying, because they live in a debt matrix. Now, a little bit off subject. If you're going to get a mortgage, a conventional mortgage is the only way to go. All right. And if you've applied for a conventional mortgage and they've turned you down, let me tell you something. The bank is indirectly, and they don't teach people about money. The bank is to make money. All right. I respect the banks. I respect how they do things. Okay. They're not big, bad, and evil. If you're turned down for a conventional mortgage, indirectly, they are doing you a favor. They are telling you you are not ready to buy a house. You're not. But then when you step out the bank and then you go to somebody else, how come you can't get a conventional mortgage for the house you want, but you can get a FHA mortgage for the same house? Do you ever stop to wonder that? And if you're in a house right now with an FHA mortgage, I want you to think, how come you couldn't get a conventional, but you can get an FHA mortgage for the same house? Does that make sense to you? That doesn't even make sense. Did you ever stop and wonder that? But what? Well, why is that? Not because your credit wasn't good enough, it wasn't high enough, or just because you didn't have the money. You barely probably had the 20% of the house down. Are you saying that if you don't have the 20% to put down on the house, you don't have the money for the house? You should have stepped back and said, I'm not ready for a house. Thank you, bank, for telling me that I'm not ready. I'll wait till I'm ready. But no, people get house fever, and the bank says, oh, this is exact. I mean, they don't say it word for word, but it is what it is. Oh, this person won't accept that they can't afford a house. Time to make money off of them. And millions of people have FHA mortgages walking around here thinking they are a homeowner. The likelihood of somebody owning that house, paying that house off with an FHA mortgage, a subprime mortgage, is highly unlikely. If you don't know from the very day you sign the papers that you can't afford a house, you thinking you're going to pay off that house with student loans? The majority of people that have FHA mortgages also have student loans. If they haven't paid off student loans in 20 years, you think they're going to pay, say like that, $100,000 in student loans? You think they're going to pay off a $300,000-$400,000 house? No, they're not. The bank knows this. Their credit report will clearly show this. But if you're out of the debt matrix and you buy a house, you can save money on. There's ways to save money on taxes with a house, with your work finances. The one I just discovered just the other day. Every day it just keeps coming to me. If I ever had a job, if I ever have to get another job, a traditional job, you better believe I'm checking that tax exempt box. Check. Then I'm going to go hire a proper tax person by seeing that person's credit report, not just any Joe Schmo off the street, just to going to get me some extra money. No, you better not do that. You better not do that. Hey, so-and-so down the street in the house, he does taxes, man. He really gets a lot of money. Oh, really? Let me see his let me see his credit reports. Because if he's in collections and IRS debt, you better believe he's not touching my taxes. No, sir, that's not happening. I'm getting a tax professional. They're going to know, I know if they know, and they're going to know that I know, period. By looking at my credit report. And I'm going to take all that money, instead of giving it to the IRS all the year, I'm going to save it and I'm going to invest it. Because I know by the time the taxes are due, I'm going to have the money for them and it's going to be there on time. So, like, when people don't even realize why scammers, money scammers, always pretend they're IRS agents. You owe this in taxes. They only scare people that don't understand the game. Because and they have. Tax people have called me on my phone. Hey, you're in trouble. You owe IRS taxes. No, I don't. Who is this? Oh, you're a scam. Click. They say the most stupidest things. They're so dumb. Money scammers. You know how to detect a money scammer? Taxes, whatever, right? Whatever they're saying doesn't make financial sense. And if it doesn't make financial sense, it's a scam. Taxes can help you become rich. They can help you build wealth. Do you understand? You got to start thinking about money individually and think money collectively. If the majority of people are in debt, that means they're high up in their tax bracket. They're really high and they can't come down because they're in debt. They can't afford to take advantage of the vehicles that the government has put in place to help you reduce taxes. The government is there. They're saying, hey, man, if you just do this, you don't have to pay that much in taxes. If you just do this, you can't afford to do this. Oh, sorry, then. If you pay less than the majority, say like the majority is paying, let's just say, I'm going to keep it right, nice round numbers. Okay. This is what you will be able to see once you're out of debt. Say like the majority of people are paying $5,000 more in taxes than you. Say like at your job, say like all you guys made the same amount. Okay. Just to keep it. And they're in debt and you're not. Okay. Now you get to take advantage of maxing out your 401k every year. Okay. And the majority of people at your job cannot. They have to pay more in taxes and a higher tax bracket, but you pay less. Say like it was $5,000 less. At the end of every year, you have $5,000 more in your bank account than this person, than all the majority of people. That's how it is. Now you times that by millions of people. Millions of people. Here's another one so you can get an example. You always hear like the average car payment is $500, okay? $500 a month. All right. The average is made up of millions upon millions upon millions of people making all the same financial move, financing cars, okay? Say like you don't. Every year you pay cash for your car, okay? If the majority of people pay $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. And if you don't have a car payment, that's $6,000 more in your bank account than the majority, than the average. This is real. The same goes with taxes. And if you get a house and you pay off your house, you can pay. This is going to blow your mind, okay? What if I told you that you could pay a house off in 7 years and not 30? Would you believe me? Probably wouldn't even believe me because you're thinking, oh man, I got to work dollar for dollar and pay off a $300,000 or $400,000 house. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what? A quick synopsis. I'll do this real quick. If I could go back, my first house would be a rental. I would come up with the 20% I need to get a conventional loan. Okay. I would create a business. I would put that house under the business. Okay. And then I would stick in a renter. I would make sure my rental is classified as a rental under the IRS guidelines. 100% true. Tax person would do it. Hey, tax person, this is what I want you to do. Make sure the IRS recognizes my house under my business as a rental. My house would be under that business, the business that I own. Okay. I create a business, put that house under the rental business that I own. Okay. I'm debt free at this time. I don't need that rental income. I don't need any of that rental income to come to me. I don't need any of it because I'm debt free. Okay. The renter pays the rent. It will go back into the house. Business rental income is taxed different than ordinary income as a regular person. Tax differences. It would go in there like I'm making a cake. All the money would go back into the house. Tax savings, appreciation and depreciation. You got to look it up. I'm not going to go into detail about it. And it would stir like I'm making a cake. Taxes, appreciation, depreciation, rental income, all going back in there. And I just walk away. I don't even think about it. Ding! I hear the ding of the microwave. Ding! My cake is done. Oh, yeah. Paid off house. 7 years. Not 30. Somebody come on my property, slip, fall, because more people in debt, so they're sue happy. Okay, so they think they're going to get some quick money. That's debt mentality. Whatever. Those people exist. The majority of people are in debt. Whatever. It is what it is. They don't sue me. They sue my company. But I'm already prepared for that. I understand. I realize there are more people in debt that are sue happy. I'm prepared for all that stupid nonsense, right? They believe. Say like they won a settlement of $5,000. People in debt believe that's a lot of money. Whatever. It counts on if I want to go after them or not. I don't know. Whatever, right? But if nothing is directly affecting me, there's always a layer between me and some piece of property. You do that a few times, you'll never. If I did that the first time, that'll be my first and only. Well, for a business debt is different than personal debt. So I don't really want to get too deep into that. I don't want to confuse you guys. But a paid off house. So imagine you have a paid off house and a recession hits. Okay. You don't really have to worry about that recession because you own the house. Who cares? Because say like 2008, say like you owned a house back in 2008 and the recession hit. That's a good thing for you. You know why? Because not only, your property value goes down temporarily, but you own the house, you don't really care. But so do your taxes. Your taxes go down too. Property value and taxes. And since you own your house, you can wait till it come back around. It's going to come back around. You know why I know? Because nobody can make more land. Nobody's making, hey, I'll make some more land. No, nobody can do that. So it's going to come back. Who knows when, but it will. You don't really care because you own the property. It doesn't matter. See how that works? You can do that. And so with your own personal job, you can start understanding how business and business taxes work with your own job. But first, for example, if let me see, if your finances were your business right now, think about it right now at this moment. If your finances were your business, would you still be in business? If your finances are in a negative, you wouldn't be in business. That's how you can look at it right now. Change that right now. You can change that. You can turn this whole thing around. You just gotta believe your own math. Add up all your savings. Add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Don't add in the equity of a house. Don't add in the equity of some other property. If the bank owns it, it's not yours. Stop thinking like that. Don't think like that. You could, and I'm not, if the people have, I'm only talking about the majority when I say things like that. Now, I know there are people out there, oh man, I got this much equity in my house and I only have this much. When you say things like that, you think you're talking about the majority or the minority. Okay. I'm only talking about the majority. Man, you could, don't add in all that stuff. Just the cash savings in your bank account right now. Here's another example so you can understand where you're at. If you have $1,000 in your bank account and you have $100,000 in student loan debt and climbing because it's interest, you are worth negative $99,000. That's your net worth, negative. And that's just with the one thing. That's just with the student loan I'm talking about. How many people just have a student loan? That's the only debt? Not many. Other people have the car notes, credit cards, multiple credit cards, by the way, and other stuff. That's how much you're worth. Accept it. Don't feel bad about it. Remember, feelings have no place when it comes to money. Now, if you're a person like this, if I walk up to you and said, hey, how much debt are you in? And you go, I don't know. I don't know. It's around this. Let me tell you, I'm gonna let you hear what that sounds like stepping outside the debt matrix. Okay. If I was your boss and you came to get paid and I handed you your check, you opened up your check and saw that it was short. You would turn to me and say, hey man, boss, why is my check short? And what if I turned to you and said, I don't know. Shouldn't it be more than this? Well, I guess. I don't know. Would you accept that? Mm-mm. That's what it sounds like if I ask you the question of how much debt you're in, because that's the exact same thing. That's what it is. Math is not a guess. It's either this or it's that. People always, when I get in the Facebook finance room, they always say, oh, Linnell, it ain't black and white. Yes, it is. What do you mean? Math is black and white. 1 + 1 = 2, period. It's not around 2, sort of 2. It's not just below 2. It is 2. 5 + 5 = 10, period. If I asked you, what's 5 + 5? And you go, it's around 9 points. Well, if you go over and add this, it's really 11 points. You'll look at me like I'm sorry. You'll look at me like I'm crazy. That's how serious it is. That's how you should always look at your money. Oh man, I love this stuff. I do love sharing with you guys. I do. Hopefully you guys can see it, but you can't. The way to see what I see now is you must become debt free. You have to. You have to. If you take the time to spend, and now it's not going to be fast, and it's very important that you understand getting out of debt will be painful, but that is a very important part of the process. It's very important. You must feel the pain. It's almost like when you're growing up, you're falling in love, you're getting hurt. You must feel that pain so you don't make those same mistakes. No different than that feeling right there. You have to feel it. You're like if you mess with a woman or a guy and they do something wrong and you feel that pain, you be like, ooh, I know that sign now. I'm never going to let that happen again. I saw it. Oh, okay. Same thing with money. Once you feel the pain of getting out of debt, you will never accidentally. It's so easy to fall deep in debt. That's easy. Getting out of debt is going to be hard. But that's an important part of the process because you're never going to fall accidentally back into debt. I promise you. Once you get out of debt, you'll never finance a car again, ever, ever. And you won't care what anybody thinks. You most definitely, if you thought a car goes down in value, ooh, a cell phone, imagine a cell phone or those new what is they got a lot of these things around where I live. Those those three-wheel vehicles. I don't even know what they're called. They're like you sit in them. It looks like a car, but they got three wheels, one in the back, two in the front. People are financing those things. Can you imagine how fast that thing goes down in value? Oh my God. And they're financing those things. A car is bad enough because the majority of people drive cars. That again, you got to think collectively and not individually. Okay. The less people that finance those things, the less they're worth. Right. So if you finance one of them three-wheel things, I'm not saying buy one. If you buy one, if you got the money and you really want one of those things, go buy one of those things from a person that financed it brand new. Now they're in credit trouble and they need to get out of it. You buy it from them for a quarter of the price, half the price, whatever, less than that, less than what it's worth, and drive the thing for free. And then when you're done driving it, sell it at Blue Book. You buy it below Blue Book, and then when you're done with it, at Blue Book. That way you drove it for free. That's it. But can you imagine how fast those things go down? Motorcycles, lawnmowers. People finance some things every day like it's nothing. Don't get out of the debt matrix. Because when you're out and you're on this side, just like me, man, oh man, you're gonna go through a phase. I wake up every morning. That's why I deliver these messages. I share these messages with you every morning because sometimes it just comes to me in the morning, either a good message or something that I thought about back what I did back in. And I get honestly, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I get really angry at myself sometimes because I know I could have been a millionaire a long time ago. A long time ago. Now I think about if I don't make X amount of money, I might have to get a regular job. I understand that. Then I got to get back into that routine of 40-hour work weeks, 2 weeks vacation a year. And then the worst part, people at jobs, they talk this debt matrix talk like, oh, woe was me, man. I got to get this. I got this trouble. I got car note trouble. They talk all this stuff and I got to hear it every single day. Wake up with traffic every day, knowing I don't have to be there. Knowing I'm only there because of the mistakes I made in the past. I got to be in this traffic. I got to deal with angry people. People in traffic, they don't even know why they're angry. They're angry because they put themselves there. You know what? They're there in the very vehicle that's keeping them there because they're making car payments. That's why oh man, this traffic is killing me. You know why you're in traffic? Because of the finance car you're in. That's why you're in the traffic. You're paying to be there. And then the state comes in and then they pick you guys off just like they pick you off just like fish in a barrel. Traffic tickets, parking tickets, HOV lanes. It's just a whole. Now, I'm not mad at the system, okay? I'm not mad at the state. I'm not mad at the system because you don't have to be there. You don't have to be there. And so imagine taxes, tickets, HOV lanes, mass transit, whatever. It's like, when I look at, I know I'm way off, but I want you guys to see what I see now. Like, for example, mass transit, right? And of course, you're paying taxes on all this stuff. There's taxes on everything. Not only just the taxes out of your check. If you take the time to realize how much money you really think you're taking home, ooh, you're going to be mad. You're working for slave wages. Believe that no matter how much money you're making, because people that make in the debt matrix, they make more money They believe in their mind that they can afford bigger payments. That's how it works. You're still there, but there's different levels in the debt matrix. It doesn't matter. Oh crap! I moved my light. Man. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say anyway. But oh yeah, the mass transit. The mass transit. This is what I see now. Everybody's stuffed in, say like a subway or one of those light rail things. All those people stuffed in that thing like sardines. No different than the freeway. Like sardines in a can. Everybody going somewhere where they don't even want to go. You have to get there to make the money. So you have to take the time out of your life to do something that you're not even getting paid for. Hour in traffic, hour on mass transit. It doesn't matter. You're not getting paid for that. That's an hour or maybe longer if it rains. An accident that you can never get back. Never, ever, ever, ever get back. You can't get it back. And you have to do it. Doing something and you're paying for it. It's not free. You got to get gas. You got to get a monthly ticket, and they say, hey, it's like this. You don't see this, okay, when you're in debt. Hey, if you pay it by the month, you get to save X amount of dollars, right? Now, I know it sounds like that and it looks like that, but if you give them the money up front, they get to take that money, pool it into some big bank account somewhere and get interest off all that money. Yeah, you think you're saving, but you're not. You're not really. You're just helping build money, and nobody really knows where all this money's going. If people are in debt, all right, people in debt debt dictates a lot of people's decisions. Okay, and then that's where corruption comes in. All right, because they believe since they are in control of this mass amount of money, they can start stealing. All you got to do if a person that is in charge of this money, I would be a monster doing. Oh, they wouldn't want to see me coming. If somebody sees this video and they want me to help audit people, the first thing I'm gonna do is look at their personal credit report. If they're in mounds and mounds of debt, that's the first person I'm looking at because it all adds up. It must all add up. So if they have X amount, they make X amount, but they have a big house and cars and stuff. That doesn't add up. So I'm going to go see them. Hey, make this make sense. They have to make it make sense. If it doesn't, the paper trail starts. Everybody does. People that do like financial corruption, they're doing it because most likely they're in debt, they're greedy, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then they start cheating on their taxes. It just gets more and more and more. I'd be a monster in that area. I need to work for the central bank. I need to work for the IRS. Because once you understand how it works, that's why people don't really understand why you can go to prison for tax evasion, because it's the backbone of the whole system. It's the backbone that makes everything work. I don't know who designed this. It's a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong. When you get out of it, when you get out of debt, you can see somebody clearly designed this system. A family, a person, I don't know, but it's been in place before you and I were even born. It's going to be there because if they allowed people to break the tax, if they allow people to break, start doing tax evasion and not really getting punished, everybody would do it, and the whole system would break. We can't have that. We can't have that. Not just the rich people, the people that understand that how this works. That's why they have money, because they understand the system. If you don't and you want to blame the tax system, that's totally up to you. Go ahead, whatever. That's because 9 times out of 10, you don't understand how it works. But if you take the time to understand how it works, you'll be like, oh man, if I go this way instead of the direct way that's the obvious to everybody, I could save millions of dollars. Sure can. You don't have to cheat the tax system. You don't have to do all that. And it doesn't matter when people think, oh, the rich pay less in taxes, or the rich. No, they go. This is what you hear in the debt matrix. The rich don't pay taxes, or some stupid nonsense like that. Tax evasion is illegal for everybody. You notice the rich people that make money and then they get greedy, they get spanked too. Because if that was true, if the rich got away with not paying taxes, everybody could see it. They'd be like, he he really got away with that because he's rich and he didn't go to prison or whatever. Then everybody would see that the system is something's wrong. You got to be rich, but they go to prison too because it doesn't matter. Stars, they're going to jail. They make millions. How come they're going to jail if rich people got away with not paying taxes? That's not because it's not true. It doesn't matter how much money you make. When I see a star or a rapper or an NBA person go to prison, jail, it's because they didn't understand it. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If I could, this is my dream job. I was thinking about this when I was driving in the car the other day. If I could be a person, I don't know what this person would, the title of this job would be, but if I could be there when NBA, football, baseball, these young kids come into this money, right? You got to remember, they're in 9 times out of 10, they're in a debt matrix. And they don't know they're in a debt matrix. If I could catch them at that age, as they enter the NBA, the NFL, or the National Baseball League, and show them what I know today, 1 year they would be set for the rest of their life. On the money they make, 1 year. 1 year they'd be set for the rest of their life, and nobody in that business would ever be able to fool them. And the people in that business, they wouldn't even know how those kids know that. They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know, even if you told them. Because people in the debt matrix speak a whole different language. They don't understand. They don't understand debt-free speak. They're on a whole different frequency. They don't understand. Hey, man, I got this deal. Hey, you buy this house. You know, can you imagine being an 18-year-old, 20-something-year-old kid running into millions of dollars? And these older people, because they only can go by their stuff. They'll see a person with a Ferrari and a nice house on the water. They would assume that this person must know what they're talking about because of the stuff they see. That's a facade. I would teach these young kids. I'd be like, hey, don't worry about that stuff. That's depreciating stuff. That means nothing. It's not worth what you see a $300,000, $400,000 Ferrari. Who says it's worth that much? Not to me, it's not worth that much. Only people that believe it's worth that much. It really didn't cost that much to make that car. That's a lie. Ferrari says that. Rolex says that. I'm not downing them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downing Ferrari, Rolex, how they built up a business to make people believe something is worth that much. That is freaking brilliant. That is brilliant. But if somebody said, hey, man, this car is worth $400,000, I'd be like, no, it's not. Okay, good question, Leon. I really appreciate that question. I want you to understand it. I really do. Because I don't want people to confuse personal and business. All right. Now, if you get money and you're getting a loan under your business, debt is a good thing. If you're getting a loan personally to buy a car, that's bad. Or you're getting a personal loan to invest in an MLM, that's not leverage. But on the business side of things, perfect. But Leon, this is what I want you to see. This is what I want people to understand that's looking at that question. If you are in debt and have been in debt all your life, you know nothing but debt, and you only speak debt. And you start a business, you only understand debt. Those things are going to naturally cross over to your business. You start with your personal finances as your business. If you're thinking about going in business right now, and if your personal finances were a business right now, today, would you still be in business? The 9 times 85%. You can just Google this, how many people in the US. Thank you. Hey, appreciate it, Leon. I really do. And I really do appreciate your question because I really want people to understand the two. There's business debt, and there's personal debt. Right now, if your personal finances were your business and you were in debt, you would not be in business. You don't know anything else. You only speak debt, money spoken on different frequencies. You're going to naturally cross that, write that over, start commingling funds, and then the tax man's going to come knocking on your door. He already knows that's why he's coming to knocking on your door. You don't even know why he's knocking on your door. And then you're going to be scrambling, doing what? I don't know, because you don't even know how you got there. And then you're not going to get out of it. That's why he's knocking on your door, because commingling funds. But if you get your personal finances straight today, and you're thinking about going into business, you're going to naturally cross that same habits over to your business. And then when other business partners come in, they see you're successful. Hey man, I want to partner with you. You know the first thing you're going to say? Let me see your personal credit report first. I don't care about your house and cars and what you built up and this and that. I don't care about any of that. Let me see your personal credit report, because people with money, they're not in debt, especially personally. They're not personally in debt. Business, yes, business and side of business, that is leverage for sure, Leon. It is for sure leverage. If something goes wrong with the business, it shuts down and it doesn't affect you personally. But if you start here, you're not even going to let that happen. You're not going to make stupid mistakes, letting the wrong people in. It doesn't happen. If somebody comes in, like you're thinking about having a business partner, and you check their personal credit report, they got IRS debt, collections, all this stuff. You're going to say, hell no, you're not going to, because they're going to treat your business finances the same way they treat their personal finances. Always, people that are listening to this, and you hear people say, oh, there's good debt and there's bad debt. Yeah, that's true. Business debt could be good. Personally, debt is bad. So when somebody comes at you like that, you turn to them and say, are you talking about business debt or are you talking about personal debt? That's what you must say, because people always mix those two. I hate it when I hear that. I hate it. But when you do that, nobody be able to fool you in personally and business. You start here, the business of you. So if I got kids early in the game, oh man, I could change their lives forever. They can still, now when you're that age, I'm not saying not have fun with the jewelry and the cars and all that stuff. You're young. Do that. But buy all that stuff with cash from people that are in credit trouble. People that you're going to get other, say like I talked to a few kids in the NBA, a few kids in the football league and the baseball league, right? And they don't know, but you know, okay? Say like I'm talking to one of those kids right now, and you know, let them buy all that stuff, right? They're either going to get tired of it or they're going to be in credit trouble. It doesn't matter. And then you buy that stuff, because gold and that funny, I mean, kids just buy all that stuff anyway. It's not really worth what they're paying for. And then you buy from them or a quarter of the price, because they're thinking they have endless money. They don't really care about that because they have money. So here, you could take it for this. Then you buy cash from them at the quarter of the price. They're going to get tired of their cars that they're probably financing, because it does. If you're listening to this and you see a person like a kid that got a multi-million dollar contract, right? And he's making car payments on a Ferrari. That's one major mistake that this person's making. They don't know they're making it. Okay, they don't know. So one day they're going to get tired of this car. They're going to get tired of whatever. And then you come in and buy it at a quarter of the price. Under Blue Book. I don't care if it's a house, car, anything you buy is not worth the money that you're paying for it. It's not. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Ulysses. How you doing, man? Oh yeah, I'm on the East Coast now for sure. What about leasing newer cars? And you're now, again, Leon, if you lease a car and it's under the business, for the business, I'm with all that. Okay, I get it, because if that car is leased under the business, that's tax benefits, that's tax write-offs. I'm only talking about personal. My videos are aimed more towards personally, because if I can get people to start here, what you're saying, Leon, will be natural to them. You can see how I can clearly see how all the whole economic system works. I can clearly see it, including taxes. Taxes can help you build wealth. Taxes don't keep you down. Taxes, that's a myth. That's what people in the debt matrix say. Oh, taxes are the very reason that's keeping me down. No, it's not. That's not true. What you're saying, Leon, I get a business, you better believe the car's going into that business. Everything is going to be used for that business. Tax write-off for all taxes. I get it. For sure. That's why the wealthy, now I don't want to confuse rich and wealthy. Rich means you have a lot of money. Wealthy means you own the time in your life. That's why it's poor, middle class, rich, and then the wealthy are separate. Once you become, and I'm not saying this because I'm wealthy, I'm saying this. Once you get out of debt, you stop even thinking about money the way I used to think about money. When I was in debt, I thought about money because I was always stuck in survival mode. I only think about money now when I have to think about money, when I got to pay my rent, my light bill, because I don't, just because I have money, I don't let people just take it. So I check my phone. Well, I buy the majority of my anything I can get. I pay by the year, so I don't even have to think about it. There can't be any corruption in it. It can't be jacking up my rates for this and that. Once I pay a set price, it's done. See you next year. Okay, that's all. The less things I have to think about, and I'm not saying I'm a professional investor. I'm not a professional tax person, but I know how to pick the right person. Somebody talking about investing my money for me, let me see your personal credit report. All three. If their credit report looks like my credit report, I will trust them. If they have all the stuff that I want to achieve, or not even saying that a person that's in debt doesn't know about investing. I'm saying this: if they don't know the basics, what I teach right here is the basics, what was taught to me in grade school. Okay, and I imply that grade school with my teacher, Miss Klingensmith, taught me in grade school that I had to just apply. I didn't wake that up till I was age 40. I didn't wake up till age 40. What Miss Klingensmith taught me in grade school. I didn't apply that to my personal finances. Once I applied that, I was like, holy crap. And then once you get over to here, you know exactly who to pick. You know who to pick. I know how to pick the right tax person, because if they don't know the basics, they're missing. Their decisions, whatever field they're in, is being dictated by their debt. Whether they know this or not, I don't know to what level, but it doesn't matter. Math says so. Their decisions are being dictated by the debt. And if you find a person that is debt free in the area that you want to be, it's their passion. They read the rules. They understand the rules. They play by the rules. There's no reason to break the rules at all. The rules are in place by who or whatever entity had put them in place. There's a reason why they're in place. Understand the rules and know how to pick the right people. I don't have to know anything about investing. I don't have to know anything about taxes. All I need to know is, does this person know the basics? Their credit report will tell me immediately if they know the basics. The fifth grade, the stuff that was taught to us in fifth grade, period. People, you know what? Ulysses, check it out. People that have been in debt all their lives, excuse me, I didn't know how stress-free life could be. I didn't know that. Once I became debt-free, life is so wonderful. Oh my God. It's just, but I'm constantly hearing the trade-off is hearing people talk about all their problems and not realizing that they are causing them. So the personal side, how do you buy a house to live without taking a mortgage? It counts on where you're at, Leon. Okay, check it out. I'm not saying not take a mortgage for a house. I'm not saying that at all. If you have the cash, preferably, great. That's the best way to buy a house, okay? But I stated earlier, this is what I would do. If I needed to get a mortgage, number one, it would be a conventional and a conventional only, okay? I would create a business. I wouldn't even live in the house when I first got it, okay? I would continue renting personally. I would create a business, put my house under that business, make sure that house is classified by the IRS as a rental. That's a key point, okay? Make sure, and you got to be debt free. Before you even do what I'm telling you, you must be personally debt free, okay? Because you're not going to use that rental income, that rental income from that person that's going to live in that house is going to go back in that house. None of that's going to come to me, because rental income is taxed very differently than ordinary income. Anything I'm saying, I'm not a tax professional. Take this to your tax professional, okay? I'm going to make sure to say that. How you pick the right tax professional? Their credit report better look like my credit report. Go look at it, okay? They're probably not going to understand what you're saying, okay? And it's a very odd question to ask most, but it's important. It would stay in there. Rental income, appreciation, depreciation, everything would go back in that like a mixing bowl, okay? None of that would come to me. All of it, tax saving. All you got to do is Google this. McDonald's, they pay zero in taxes every year. Read it. You'll understand what I'm saying here. They don't pay no taxes. You remember that article going around that Amazon doesn't pay any taxes? Don't just look at it and say, oh, they're not paying taxes because they're rich. Tax evasion is illegal for everybody in the United States. Figure out why that is. I know why that is. You figure out why that is, and it's stirred like a freaking cake. That house will be paid off in 7 years. You own it. And then the next one, you probably need a less of a loan. And the next one, a less of a loan until you won't need a loan to buy a house ever anymore. Your mortgage days will be over forever. And then because when you have cash, market value of homes doesn't matter. I don't care what market value of homes are. As long as there are people in the United States that believe they're homeowners with mortgages, you can buy a house anywhere you want to in the world. In the United States, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is wait for an economy crash. People get 30-year mortgages. They sign 30-year mortgages promising the bank money for the next 30 years. Nobody in the world can do that. You can't predict your future earnings. You haven't even earned the money yet. How are you going to promise it to the bank? That doesn't make financial sense at all. But whatever. The bank's not here to teach people about money. They're here to make money. So you're telling the bank that nothing's going to happen to you financially for the next 30 years? Are you insane? Nobody can do that. Nobody. Those odds are better than Vegas, baby. Believe that. Banks gonna take that all day, every day, including Sunday. Break a leg, divorce, and then people's emotions get involved in divorce. I don't care about that house. I don't care about that car. And then they sell it for a quarter of the price. That's where I come in. Oh, you don't care? I do. Here. That's a t-shirt trademark. What's a oh, okay. But you know what? Ill Willis, check it out. I guarantee you, even if I wore that shirt, people would not. It would get people to ask questions, but they still wouldn't understand what I'm saying. People in the debt matrix don't like to talk about debt because they're in debt. You notice how people don't really want to talk about their money? That's by design, baby. That's by design. This is why when you get out of the debt matrix, this is why you will be rich. This is why you will be wealthy. I just got to figure out how to package when I'm selling to you guys. I really just want to be on stage and talk about it and help the people that really want to help. I just got to figure out the package. I already know my passion and my mission. I know I'm rare at what I'm saying, but everything I'm saying can be proven to be true with math. You can prove everything I'm saying to you. You can use your own calculator and look at it and know it's true. If you add up savings, add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and see that number's in a large, deep negative, you can repunch the numbers over and over, and it's going to be in a deep negative, right? And then you're going to look at that negative number. Some are going to be in non-belief. They're going to be like, oh, man, I can't be worth that. I'm in a negative. I'm worth nothing. Yes, you're in a negative. All you got to do is believe your own math. Once you believe your own math, you'll be free. It's that simple. And if you don't, you know why you don't? Because you believe everything you finance. You believe you own everything you finance. That's why. I'm not saying anything. Those of you listening to me right now, I'm not saying anything spectacular. I'm not saying I'm some kind of financial genius. I'm not saying that at all. I'm only using grade school math. Period. Yeah. Most people wouldn't. They wouldn't understand me. You gotta be ready to hear what I'm saying. And these are key points if you're ready to hear what I'm saying or not. This is what it is. You've been working all your life. You've been getting raises at your job. You've been climbing the corporate ladder. But for some reason, nothing is changing. And you can't put your finger on it. You can't figure out. It doesn't matter how many people you ask, your friend, your cousin, your mom, your dad. You're like, That's not the answer. Most people's answers are get loans, pay off this. You can't borrow your way out of debt. That's mathematically impossible. All you got to do is this. If somebody gives you advice like that, hey, get this loan, do this, add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and get that large negative number, right? Take their advice, whatever their advice is, add that number to this number. If it puts you deeper in the negative, it's the wrong advice. You're like, wait a minute. If I take so-and-so's advice, I'm deeper in the hole. That's an indicator. That's what you should know. You should like, wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. That puts me further away from zero. In order for you to make $1 million, you must first get to zero. They taught us this in grade school. You can't keep going down deeper in the hole in debt and think you're going to reach to $1 million. That's mathematically impossible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not picking on anybody that's doing it. I did it for 40 years of my life. 40 years, baby. Got a college degree, computer smart, yeah, doing all that. I do all that virtualization, connecting globally. Woo, I'm smart. Oh, yeah, I know TCP/IP. Yeah, I know the LAN. I can do this. Oh, the WAN, you want me to put in the DMZ? Oh, yeah, I know all that. But I couldn't manage my freaking my finances with 5th grade math. This programming is strong. Whoever designed this system, let me tell you guys something. Whoever designed this system, I wish this is not in books. I promise you. Whoever designed the system, you'll never know their name. You'll never, if it's a family, if it's a person, you'll never know their name. Unless you're debt free, I don't even know what question to ask. The only person I believe that know the answer is the central banks. They have to know the answer. Central banks, oh yeah, they have. How did they fool people? You know, people in the debt matrix, you kind of hear kind of stuff like this. Money's not real. Money's fake. Money's not worth the paper it's printed on. It's true. All that's true, but only for people in debt. If you're in debt, you're in a negative. So the cash that's in your pocket is not real. It's not even there. It's not there. You just believe it's there. Again, my example earlier, if you have $100,000 in debt and $1,000 saved in the bank, you are worth negative $99,000. That $1,000 you see in the bank is not there. Do you understand? It's crystal clear to me today. I'm glad you asked that question, Ulysses. Let me tell you this. It terrifies me. And don't get me wrong. If I need money, I have to work to earn money, okay? It literally terrifies me to think about ever going back into the computer degree that I paid for, 30 grand, baby, 30 grand. And it's more than that because I kept my student loan for almost 10 years. I don't even want to add that up. I don't even want to. I paid it off. I don't want to know how much I really paid for that. Okay, I don't want to know. To have to get up at a certain time, drive to a place I don't want to go to, sit for 8 hours solving problems that the business, whoever I'm working for, is making billions, and they're paying me little petty $100,000 a year. Now, most of you probably hear $100,000 and think, ooh wee. Did you hear what I said? They're making billions, paying me $100,000. Who are you comparing your salaries to? That's ashtray money. That's like me getting paid by the business. I'm like, hey, where's my check? They say, hey, go out into the limo and look in the ashtray and get it. Don't bug me about that. It's in there. Leave me alone. Do your own taxes, whatever. Oh, that's right. They said I have to do your taxes. Give me part of that money back. I got to pay these guys. All right, now get out of here. Now go do what I paid you to do. Get out of here. See what I'm saying? That's how I feel. To be trapped in 8 hours and then go back in the traffic for another hour. And that's only if I work 40. Okay? If I only work 40, 1 hour there, 1 hour back, that's 2 hours extra a day, 10 hours a day. 50 hours, 10 of those I'm not even getting paid for. I'm spending money. Car note, gas, insurance. If you If you get out of debt and you really calculate how much money, you can calculate how much money you're really making per year, per hour. Ooh, you making slave wages, baby. Slave wages. Oh yeah, 100K is minimum in debt. Let me tell you something. If you get out of debt, like you guys are gonna, I'm gonna shock you right now. I'm gonna shock you. I'm gonna shock you. You guys ready? You guys ready? If you get out of debt, you could survive on $30,000 a year easily. Easily, 30K. There's so many factors in that you can't see when you're in debt. $30,000 and you will be living stress-free. Stress-free. If you become debt-free, what I'm telling you guys, what I'm showing you guys, that job you're in that you hate, there's no way you'd be there. You'd be out of there so fast. That boss you work for that just be talking, he'd be talking to you any way he feels like talking to you. You wouldn't have any of that. You'd be like, what? Hey, you talk to me like that again, we're going to HR. That's unacceptable. You don't bring that to business. I don't care if you're having a bad day at home. I don't care if your wife talked to you, fooled around on you, if you guys got in an argument. You don't bring that to work. You keep that at home. You wouldn't say it like that, but you would say it. I promise you. I wouldn't have any. Hey, Walmart greeter, you know what people in debt, they think a Walmart greeter is because they have to have that job or they're making pennies or whatever, right? I would be a Walmart greeter. And if somebody saw me doing that, they see me making these videos, right? Or they know that people that know me know I was a computer engineer making $160 a year, and now Linnell's a Walmart greeter. I wouldn't care what anybody thought. So what? They could record me doing, I saw Linnell Walmart greeter. Yeah, so what? So what? So what? If their finances are in the red, they're in the negative. They're working slaves. They don't even know they're slaves, and they're volunteering for it. Pay for vacations. Oh yeah, they pay for vacations, insurance, all that. All that. You can survive off of $30,000 easily. Easily. Everything over that is gravy, baby. Investments. First thing I think if I have to get a job, the first thing I think, you got a 401k? Yeah, max it out. They're going to be like, because I remember, let me give you guys what happened when I first did this, because I had never done this. I never in my life maxed out, not once, maxed out my 401k because I couldn't afford to. I couldn't afford to put $18,500, $19,000. I could not afford to do that. The first time I did that at my last job, HR called me. They said, hey, Mr. Young, did you mean to put that much money in your 401k in 1 year? I said, yeah. Do you know how much money is going to come out of your check? I sure do. They were like, oh, okay, because this is what they told me, because nobody ever does that. In my mind, I said, I know that because everybody else is in debt. But because they don't know, people in debt, you know what they're worried about? They're worried about the match. Hey, is my company match? They don't know. They just talking. Okay, they don't know. They believe that it's the match that's going to make them the money. All right. They believe whatever investment the company's really looking out for them. This is business. That's personal feeling. That whatever they invest in, that vehicle is going to make the money. Yeah, it might make some money. Yeah, maybe this year it might make that much. Next year it might make a little less, might make a little more, whatever. But you know what's guaranteed? What they don't see? The tax savings is guaranteed every single year you do that. That's guaranteed money from investment. I couldn't see that when I was in debt. Couldn't see it. Couldn't see it. Couldn't see it. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to do it. It was mathematically impossible for me to see it. It was impossible. That's guaranteed savings every single year. Don't even add in the HSA health savings account. Oh my God, you just 19,000. And if you got a family, add another 7,000 on top of that. And then the health savings account, you can use the card to pay for out-of-pocket medical expenses, tax-free. Not with after-tax money. Say like you had a $20 copay. Oh man, I only got a $20 copay. It's not really $20 after taxes. They take taxes out of that 20. It's really 19 something. Now you got to add some more money to make up for that 20. Whether you know this or not is 100% irrelevant, right? You're not paying, but when you have, you're not paying the full 20. You got to add more money because the taxes are taken out. When your health savings account, not only do you get to take off the money off your taxes every year for depositing money to your health savings account, you get to use a card that you only can pay for. You pay for out-of-pocket medical expenses with 100% of the money. That's what the government says. Hey, if you do this, you can do that. Okay, cool. I'm going to do that. But if you're in debt, you can't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Money that you don't have to spend, that the majority spend, is money in your pocket. Stop thinking individually and think collectively. You know what? And it's so funny. Listen, it's like this. We're so worried about what other people think. Only people in the debt matrix think like this, okay? They worry about what other people in the debt matrix think of them. Other people in the debt matrix make other people believe that they should know something about money. You should know this. You should know that. Never even assume for yourself that you should know something about money that you don't. This day and age we live in, you don't even have to know. Say like you walk into a store and there's 20% off of a item or something. Now, most people can't really do that in their head. They'll be like, oh man, I don't know how to do that. So they'll just go by what they see or somebody telling them. All you gotta do is say like the shirt was, say like there was a shirt for, say like there was a shirt in there for $20 and it was 20% off. All you gotta do is open up your browser, open up Google and say 20% off of $20. It'll tell you. You don't even have to know. You just need to know what numbers to put in. That's it. That is it. Yeah, the vacation thing now, and I think also, Ulysses, I think about if I had to go back to work a regular job and you get 2 weeks a year. Now, mind you, I've been not working a regular job for 4 years. I think about a 2-week vacation. Even if you got 2 weeks, how many people actually took the 2 weeks together? How many people actually do that? I didn't do that. I broke up the days. I took one here, made a couple extra weekend there, like a weekend, take a Monday off, and didn't really even do nothing that weekend. I just wanted to stay home and sleep. I just didn't want to go, And even with that, I used to still log on, check my email, log into the servers, make sure I'm still working. Thinking this project or this area was literally mine. It's not mine. They just hired me to maintain it at the time they're going to pay for it for me to do it. That's neither here nor there. It's in the past. I know now. I still get mad every now and then. That's why I get on here as a passion to help other people see what you don't see. If you're in debt and you don't know how much debt you're in, you are working for pennies. You are a slave. And if you are a person that owes student loan debt and IRS debt, you cannot bankrupt that debt. And if you don't pay it off, you will be a slave until you are dead. Do you understand? If that's not enough to scare somebody, now, again, I'm not blaming anybody because I kept my student loan for 10 years. How did I not know, Mr. Computer Smart, Linnell Genius, whatever, that if I go to school for 4 and pay for college for 10, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make it. Of course, college is going to sound expensive. Of course it is, because you're paying it for 10 years when you went only for 4. I know why I didn't stop to think that, because the majority of people are doing it. You believe it's normal. I believed it was normal. Oh, everybody got student loans. And as soon as you hear the word somebody say everybody, you got to stop and think. They're talking about everybody in the United States. That cannot be true. That can't be true, because there's rich and wealthy people that don't do that. That's why they have money. They always, hey, if you make this medium, if you're below 30,000, you're poor. Says who? Who are they talking about? The average. The average of people make up millions of people making the same financial moves. They're in debt. You step outside the debt matrix, you can live lovely off of $30,000 a year. Lovely. And nobody won't even be able to tell. And they'll look at you and be like, why is this person so happy? And he's a Walmart greeter. He can't be making that much money. You're right, because I don't need it. You need it. I don't need it. The more money you make, the higher tax bracket. The less money you make, the less in taxes. You get below 50, oh my God. There's certain levels, certain type of taxes taken out. Because according to the statistics, if you're below a certain level, you're in poverty. If you make $30,000 or below, you're in poverty. That's not true. Only for people in debt that make $30,000. They're in poverty. If you're not in debt, you're not in poverty. Whatever poverty means, does that mean you're on the streets? People believe, this is what the news does. I know I'm going on and on. It's about an hour and 30, but I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. If you look according to TV and you see people on the street, you automatically assume that they're there because of drugs and they're there because of whatever, right? Do you really believe everybody's there because of drugs? You believe nobody on the street has a college degree? You don't believe they're living on the street? Nobody on the streets has a college degree. Everybody's on drugs that's on the street. That's not true. Bad financial decisions are also one of the factors. There's many, but I guarantee you, the majority is not drugs. The majority, maybe those bad financial decisions have caused people to drink and do drugs, but financial decisions, I guarantee you, is the major one. That can't be calculated in there, because I think about it like this. You see these people with mortgages and homes talking bad about the homeless, right? Here's the difference between the difference between people with mortgages and the homeless. The homeless know they're not homeowners. People with mortgages have not a clue. They just believe they're homeowners. This is the difference. The homeless person can say, at least I know I don't have a home. At least I know I don't own a home. People with mortgages believe they're homeowners. They do. They believe that when they refinance their house, they believe they're really paying off cars and buying stuff. People refinance their house and go on a vacation. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not going on a vacation. You didn't pay for the vacation. You borrowed money from the bank's house. You got a different loan. Less than 30 a year, and everyone wants to ask. Did you get anxiety your first year? Okay, you know what? Ulysses, I did. I panicked because you got to remember, I've been working all my life. I got anxiety. The first year, I'm glad you asked that question. The first year, I panicked and I started looking for jobs, and this was an important key. First year, I was like, oh man, I can't do that. I need to, and I really didn't need it. I was just a panic because I've been working all my life. I remember going on 2 interviews, and this was important. The things they asked of me for these jobs, I was blown away. I was like, I didn't hear this stuff before. Hey, this one particular job, right? I went on an interview. Hey, I'm an engineer, and there was one other engineer there, right? And this engineer was always on call the whole time. Because he's the only one there. I apply. I said, so we're in the interview. I go, so how does the on-call rotation work? It'll be between you and him. I said, wait a minute. I said, so 6-7 months out of the year, you guys are on my life? And that's only if he's not sick once, or that's only if he doesn't go on vacation, which is impossible. He's going to take a day vacation. And anytime he's not there, I must be there. They saw the look on my face. I was like, I didn't say this, but after the interview was over and the person that found me the job, they called me up and said, hey, Linnell, the interview went well, but they said as soon as you mentioned the on-call rotation, they said they saw your face change. I was like, it was that obvious? And then I was driving home. I said, how long have I been letting businesses get away with that crap? Nobody's going to own me 6 months out the year. I don't care how much money you're paying me. And they was paying me barely $100,000 for what they were asking. They needed to pay me $300,000, maybe $4. Nobody's owning the time of my life like that. That's insane. But you must remember, this is business. Okay, nothing personal. Businesses need to make money, so they're going to hire labor cheap as possible. There's more people in debt than not that will accept a life like that. I felt sorry for that dude that was there. He had that electronic leash. He must keep that electronic leash on his hip whenever, wherever he goes, vacation, or he couldn't go on vacation. When he's celebrating, party with his kids, swimming pool, barbecue, he must keep that electronic leash on his hip for the little peddly peanuts that business was paying him. This business was a multi-million-dollar business, and they had one person doing their whole data centers. Are you crazy? Mm-mm. They only can get away with that from people who are in debt. People that manage money like me that are not in debt would never accept terms like that, ever. No, sir, that would never happen. You know, and you're right, Il Willis. You're right, man. Think about it this way. Say like you had a on-call rotation of 6 people. Okay, and this is so obvious to me today. On-call rotation. Everybody had a different set of skills. Maybe there's the data person, the virtual person, the Windows person, the Linux person, the SQL person, right? No one person can know every system. Nobody. Because if you did, they'd be paying you $1 million a year. Okay. All right. $1 million. Even if you're on call, you still have to call the other person. You're just like the circuit board phone person. Even if you were on call, you still have to call the other person that knows about the system. And obviously that person's not on call, but they become immediately on call. They would call me. I'm not on call, but I was the virtual person. So anything happened in the virtual environment, they would have to call me. So I have to stop whatever I'm doing and manage that. And I'm not even on call. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, many nights, waking up in the middle of the night. And I had this feeling over me like, this doesn't make sense. This ain't right. Why am I? Then I had to stay up mostly all night and still come in the morning the next day. Today, you know why I was feeling like that? Because it wasn't right. It wasn't supposed to happen. And if it did happen, I was supposed to go in there and renegotiate my contract for double the price of what I was making. Oh, you paying me 160? You're gonna double that. Or you're gonna find somebody that's deep in debt that needs your money that's gonna accept them terms. That's exactly how I would say it. Exactly. But less feelings. Not now the way I'm saying it is because I'm angry thinking about it. But if it was business, I wouldn't. No, I don't put feelings in that. It's just business, nothing personal. I say, hey, when I signed up for this job, you guys said I'll be working X amount of time, X amount of this. Now you guys are calling me outside of I didn't see that in the contract. You guys are going to double my payout, so I'm going to quit because I didn't accept those terms. Sorry. And they would pay it. Or they would find another person. From what I knew, they would have paid it. The way I managed that, the way I reconstructed that whole entire virtual system, they would have paid it. Believe that. They would have paid it. They were making millions. No, excuse me. Billions. They were making billions. And they're paying me a little petty 100,000. Anyway, that's gone. That's neither here nor there. It's out. It comes from for everyone in technology when they want to give you a calm day for all those off hours. Exactly. They try to give you a calm day they think it makes up for that. They're getting triple that. 1 second, you guys. I got to get my power cord. 1 second. They think that comp day is going to make up for all those days, for all those hours you wake up and in the middle of the night. That one day is going to make up for all those. They got me good. They got me good. Ill Willis, tell this to your tech friends. See if they even hear you. The reason why they're paying for that phone, that cell phone, is for 24-hour access to your life. Now, and don't get me wrong, Ill Willis, if I have to go back to work, I need to make the most money in the shortest amount of time. But on top of that, my time is the most valuable thing on earth. So if they hire me, right? I don't know. I don't know if I ever want to go back to tech. I'll take a labor job before I don't know. Let me put it this way, Willis. When I look at jobs, computer jobs, first of all, these monster boards and the Indeed and all that stuff. People, it feels like they just. Have you ever noticed that these jobs just shoot out about a whole bunch of companies shoot at your job, that shoot to your email the same job? You can clearly see it's just a big factory of places trying to get you to come on their team so they can make the money. They don't really care if you got the skills or not. They just go, hey, we saw that it's just a standard message. Hey, we saw your resume and it looks like a good fit for this job, and it could be a freaking a maintenance job somewhere. It's just random. It's not really true. They're just trying to get you to call them back so they can talk to you, and it's a skill set that has nothing to do with your skill set, but they find it as a great match. It's just a money-making factory. It's that they don't really think your skills are really good. They're just trying to get you on the team. So whatever this job is really paying per hour, they're going to pay you less so they can get the extra money off. It's just money. And I'm not mad at the system. I'm not mad at what they do. It's business, nothing personal. But when they reach out to me, sometimes I'll call them just to entertain them, just to say, what are you talking about? Did you see? What's on my resume? I'll say, what did you see? They won't answer because they didn't look at it. They're just a money-making factory machine, period. I am in a better place, though, Will Willis. I am. And if I can somehow reach other tech people, this will be coming down. I'm not saying, put it this way. I'm not saying if you like tech, I'm not saying get out of it. I'm saying if you become debt-free, once you become debt-free and stay in your field, you will be a monster in that field, because businesses, they will see you. You won't fit like the way you fit before, but they will know you mean business. The higher ups will see that, because you better believe that this business didn't become a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business by having their feelings involved in that business. They know the difference between people that put their feelings involved in it and versus people that understand business. You come in there, yeah, we'll do this. Oh, you want me to do that? You must pay me this. And then if they come back, what do you mean? We told you this. Yeah, I know. According to the contract, think about it. Think about it this, Ill Willis. When you got hired at the job you working at now or before, whatever, right? If they had in the contract, yeah, by the way, for this salary, we're going to own 24 hours of your life, would you have accepted that job? Hell no, you wouldn't have. You'd been like, no, own me for 100,000. You're going to own my whole life 24 hours a day? No, thank you. But today, when you're financially free, you wouldn't allow that. That's the best way I can describe it. And if they called you after hours or called you when you're not on call, you'd be like, hey, why are you calling me? We need your help. That's not part of the contract I signed. What are you talking about? I didn't accept you can call me anytime you want. Oh, we paying for your phone bill. Oh, you didn't tell me that you're going to own my life by paying on my rest of my life 24 hours a day if you pay for my phone bill. Stop paying for my phone bill. I'll pay my own phone bill. No, you don't get to call me when I'm not on call. A person on call, what's the purpose of an on-call rotation if you still won't call me? That's what I would say. I would ask that in the interview, honestly. I wouldn't even go to, hey, we like you, Linnell. Da, 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 da. Trust me, when you're in an interview, interviews are totally different when you're debt free and you don't need that job. Interviews are totally different. Totally different. Totally different. After they do their spiel, hey, this company, we do this. You can come down there. We got a meal place down there. They get served gourmet food and this and that. They always tell you all this stupid nonsense that you could care less for because it's not even yours. Who cares? And then you say, hey, yeah, by the way, during the on-call rotation, am I going to get called when I'm not on-call rotation? If they say yes, you say no. Hey, yeah, by the way, if you want that, you're going to pay me well over what you're paying right now. This job description, I didn't see on the job description that it says you're going to own my life 24 hours a day, every day. It didn't say that. Where's that at? Because I woke up in the middle of the night, many nights, feeling like this is not right because it wasn't. But I didn't listen to my instincts. I didn't listen to that. Didn't listen to it. Why? Because I was in debt. I was afraid of losing a job, changing my lifestyle, losing my finance Lexus, my fancy high-rise apartment. People are going to think I'm broke. Linnell, you were broke. That's why you feel like that. Linnell, that's why I'm talking to myself. Linnell, that's why you accept terms like that, because only people in debt accept terms like that, Linnell. Linnell, you're a slave. A high-paid slave at that too, but it doesn't matter when you're living in the debt matrix. You're still broke. You just believe you're a high-paid slave. You're just a slave. That's it. That's exactly. But if the computer field is still your field, I would consult. I would do that. Those consultants, you ever notice when you work at a computer job and those consultants come in, those guys get paid. Oh, they get paid. They get paid, and they get paid for every hour they work. Walking around, I remember this one dude, man. Not saying that he wasn't in debt, but I could tell when this dude would come on the scene, he would just look so stress-free. Drove a nice Jag. Not saying that the Jag means anything, okay? That he wasn't making payments on it. I don't know, but I just going by his demeanor. He was relaxed, always happy, and in my mind, I just thought, oh, he's just happy because he's making the money he makes. Maybe he did make way more money, but maybe he was debt free. Maybe he did pay for that Jag cash. I don't know, but his demeanor, he was happy. He wasn't stressed. Something would go wrong. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, okay, I'll fix that. I'll get it. Oh, damn, he ain't worried about nothing. Here I'm worried about if something didn't work right at the job. I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble or get fired or whatever, right? Stressed. Anyway, I'm way off the topic, man. And here I am, an hour and 42 minutes in. Can you guys see it's my passion? I feel like a rapper spitting rhymes off the top of my dome. This ain't this. I don't write down any of this stuff. It's just what I see. Let me get off here for my girlfriend come down and start tripping. All right, you guys have a wonderful Sunday, man. Appreciate you guys chiming in. Ill Willis, Ulysses. Thank you for chiming in, participating, and all those people that no, man. You guys, you know what, Ill Willis, let me tell you something. It's more interesting when you guys chime in because people that watch quietly, they get to see and hear real people with real situations and not just me thinking I'm making up stuff. And these are real people that I don't personally know and me, this is just their friends talk. You know, these are people that I've met through similar situations online and that can hear what I'm saying. I want people that earlier dude Leon, he chimed in and said something which was very important. It was very important because people could mix. Hey, I heard debt was good. People mix between business debt and personal debt. Don't ever mix those two. That one has nothing to do with the other. Nothing, nothing. But anyway, you guys have a good one. I'm going to finally eat some breakfast and get out and enjoy my 70, 80-degree day. I love living down south. I ain't gonna lie. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Seattle originally. I just moved down here to South Carolina in June, July, something like that. I've been in there. I was born and raised in Seattle. I just got tired of the rain and cloudy skies, man. I needed the sun. I need the sun. Waking up, opening my curtains, looking out the window and seeing this beautiful sun every single day. I love it. It changes my whole mood. Gray skies. The gray skies of Seattle was just getting to me. I knew I had to get out of there. All right. You guys enjoy your day too. Enjoy your day too, Ill Willis. You too, Ulysses. And hey, by the way, I drove that. I drove that 3,000 miles. I was going to fly. And I was thinking, you know what? Let's just do this cross country. Me and my girl, we did the cross country drive all the way across. Slept at night, because at night you miss everything, right? So slept at night, drove during the day. I'm so glad I did that. This last 4 years, I'm going on again. Then I'm gonna end it. Let me explain something to you. This last 4 years of my life is unexplainable. I can't even. I couldn't plan it. I've been doing everything. In this last 4 years, I've traveled, vacation, nice restaurants, get up. Didn't even decide what I was going to do for the day until I woke up that day. Hey, baby, what you want to do? Yeah, let's go for breakfast at that new restaurant we saw. And just go and just do it. Don't even think about it. I broke my habit of, ooh, that's expensive. Ooh, look at the cost. We can't do that. What are you waiting for, Linnell? Do it. And I just do it. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to package what I'm sharing with you guys. That's all. And I'm figuring out the more people I talk to, the more people that email me. At first, I thought I could just create a plan and send you guys on your way. This is a progressive thing. You have to talk to me every month because there's more people in debt than not. They're going to bombard you with their debt talk. And then if you've been in debt all your life, you're going to get confused. You're going to be like this on the tracks. And maybe the people in debt is going to sway you off the tracks. You're going to get derailed. And then you just wait for that call, that 1 hour call every month with me. That's going to put you back on track. This is why what they're saying is wrong. See the math? This is why what they're doing is wrong. This is why that person with the nice car and the nice house is fooling you. They're fooling you. It's a facade. This is why. And you're going to struggle with it. But all you got to do is focus on the math. If the math is right, you know you're on the right track, and it's going to put you on the right track. And then once I get you going, once I get you started, then you're just going to take off. Boom. Everything's going to add up. And then the people in the debt matrix won't be able to derail you because you're going to be outside the debt matrix. And then you're going to be looking at it like this. Oh. Like, here's an example, okay? I'm going to give you guys another example so you guys can. I'm going to give you guys an example so you guys can understand, okay? I had a person, okay? I convinced this person to pay off their car. Totally convinced them to pay off their car, okay? So they could stop paying interest on the depreciating object. 1 year later, you know what this person, I was on Facebook, you know what this person did? Financed another car. And still had the old car they paid off. Oh, I'm going to take this car and I'm going to take the money from the sale of that car and pay it off. Sure you are. Sure. So, and this is what they're saying, what they don't even know what they're saying. So you decided, instead of selling your old car first and taking the cash to buy the new one, you decide to pay more for a depreciating object than what it's worth. They're trying to convince me, oh, it's low miles, it doesn't, whatever. That's debt matrix talk, whatever. If you believe that, whatever, you believe it. Paying more for a depreciating object than what it's worth. And then so you decide to pay more money because the bank ain't doing none of that financing for free. That all costs money. That's above the cost of what the value of the car is right off the bat. But whatever. You know what I say? Okay. Oh, you got a great deal. Good for you. Whatever. That's debt matrix talk. But I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not. Yeah, I can't do that because none of this is hidden. So I'm not going to talk down to a person, make them feel bad at a decision. But this person knew how it felt to have a paid off car, and then they go and finance one. This is how powerful this is. This is how powerful it is. That's how powerful this is. So I understand why the package I'm trying to create is a multi package. You cannot do this alone because if you've been in a debt matrix all your life, one plan is not going to help you out of this right away. It's going to take some time. But the value that you invest in me, the money that you invest in me, is going to return it tenfold. When you're out of debt, you know what you're going to say to me? And this is not bragging. You know what you're going to say to me? Lynell, I would have paid 10 times your cost. 10 times. 10 times your cost if I knew how much freedom I had, carefree. Look at DTN Professional. You got his name is Ulysses, but you guys don't know that. He's telling you, and this cat is how do you you're not even 30 yet, are you, Ulysses? He's telling you how carefree you are when you don't have any debt. Carefree. You don't have any problems. You have people in debt seeing how carefree you are. People in debt ask, since you're carefree and you have money, how much money they believe you have, whatever. They think they can borrow some from you. Let me tell you something. When you're debt free, 28. He's not even 30, man. I'm jealous of him. I'm jealous of him. I'm jealous of him. Let me say that again. I'm jealous of Ulysses. I will tell people, no. Hey, Lynell, now these are people, I've had people ask me, see me having worked for 4 years. I have friends that ask me, can I borrow some money? What do you mean? You're working. I'm not working. That's exactly what I say. No. You want me to show you how I'm doing it? You know what they say to me? Oh, no, I don't feel like doing all that. Then stop asking me for money. No. Hey, Ill Willis, he's been listening. He's been listening to me since day one. Been listening. Coming back, hey, Ulysses, people are going to say this. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to say. He comes back and tells me exactly what I'm not a future teller. It's around there every day. People are broke and don't even know it. Don't even know it. The main thing, if they're making car payments, they're doing it wrong. These are things, ask them, hey, what type of mortgage do you have? Most people say, I don't know. They're doing it wrong. People with money always know. Always. I just got to build you. Hey, Ulysses, are you learning to say no? You got to say that powerful too, so they know. No. Can I borrow $50 till next payday? No. Sometimes if somebody asks me that, I say like this to them. If you can teach me how to make $50 last for 2 weeks, I'll give you the $50. Because that's impossible what they're saying. They can't make $50 last 2 weeks. They're asking you, they're asking another person, they're asking another person. They don't realize that they're telling you they're broke, especially if they get their check and then the next couple of days they're asking to borrow money from you, they're broke. So you're not going to get your $50 back at the time they're telling you. You tell me how to make $50 last for 2 weeks, I'll pay you. I'll give you $100 because it's impossible. They don't even know what they're saying. Man, look at that. 2 jobs and a window cleaning business. You see, 2 jobs and a window cleaning business. Ulysses is putting in work, and people in debt are still asking him to borrow money. Are you insane? No. Are you saying it like that, Ulysses? Are you telling them no like that? Because if you're not, you need to tell them that. Or and this is what I say too. Maybe people are not that strong, like me saying it like that, okay? Or you could say like this, Ulysses. Hey, and make sure you record them when you say this. Because people that borrow money, they always tend to forget that they borrow money from you. I don't know why they do that. Just people in the debt matrix. Maybe because they borrow from so many people, they forget they borrow from you. You say it like this. I'm gonna loan you $50. Put your phone on record. I'm gonna loan you $50. I'm gonna give you $50. But if I give you this $50, you can never ask me for money again. Do you agree? And they have to say yes. You keep that recording on, because they're gonna, once you give them that money, they're gonna forget they said that to you. You just press play. Hey, remember this? Oh man, you still tripping on that video? They might say that. You still tripping on that old video, man? That was like a year ago. That's 2 years ago. No, this is forever. Make sure you put it up in the cloud, so if you lose your phone, you won't lose that video. Put it up in the cloud, put it on your Google Drive so you don't forget it. And you say, yeah, I'm still tripping on that video. Look, press play. That's you. Oh man, I know. Goodbye. Your family think you acting funny. Oh my God. Oh man, that is funny. That is funny that they think you're acting funny. But it's real. But if you keep saying no, trust me, they're gonna stop. I don't care how they talk about you. I don't care if they call you you ain't a family member, this and that. Hey, it doesn't matter what they think. They're living in a debt matrix. Okay. With puppy dog eyes. Exactly. Look back at them with puppy dog eyes. No, you can't borrow no money. No. But Ulysses, if you're generous, you better make a contract, because if you give it to them once, they're going to keep thinking. They're going to keep thinking they can keep coming to you, and they can't. I got sleep in my eyes. I don't know how long that's been there. They're going to keep coming to you. You don't want that. Okay? I don't want to hear the truth about. Oh no, they don't want to. That's why they're borrowing it. They just want to fix now. This is why the financial business is so fast, or so it's so successful. Cash loan places, fast cash, they're all online now. They're all online. They're money loan place that you drive on at ridiculous. That's why they're open. I wouldn't even drive on the lot of one of those fast cash places. Well, that's financial suicide. If you're driving on the lot and borrow money from a place like that, you are in serious financial trouble. Serious. And if that's you, admit it to yourself that you are in serious trouble. Don't be embarrassed about it. That's going to be the first sign that you're in financial trouble. That's the first sign that's going to help you get out of financial trouble. If somebody comes up to you and asks you to borrow money, you turn to them and say, no. They're going to say, why? You're going to say, I'm broke. Say it. Hey, you sell your car to get a lower graded car, like a lower Honda. Sell your paid off car, get a paid off one that's an older year. People are going to ask, hey man, what's wrong? You ain't got no, yeah, why'd you get out of that fancy Lexus and get this little Honda? Because I'm broke. What you mean? I have no money. You got that good job. I know. I'm still broke. That's what you say. Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be embarrassed, because the people in the debt matrix, they're all pretending. It's a facade. They're holding up this facade, and people will go broke keeping up with this facade. They will keep up with it. They will go broke keeping up the facade. They don't want other people to know that they're broke. But you step outside the debt matrix, they're not fooling any of us. I can clearly see you're broke, because they speak broke and they're making payments on the cell phones and car. Look how many. God, it is 2 hours. The new iPhone 11 Max Pro just came out. Almost $1,500. Go and see how many people have that phone in their hand. It's so easy to spot. All you got to do is look at the 3 cameras on the back now. Ask them how did they pay for that phone? Guarantee you they're making payments. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Financing a cell phone. They are broke and they don't even know it. Don't even know. 10 cents raises for the last 3 years. Sad. I told him 10 cents raise. 10 cents. 10 cents raise? If somebody approached you and told you you should be happy, and that's 10 cents minus taxes, okay? So it's not even 10 cents. If they approach you and said they're going to give you a 10 cents, 25 cents raise, they're calling you a slave to your face. Here's 25 cents, slave. You better be happy with it, you slave. That's what they're saying indirectly. All right, I'm going to get off this. I'm going on 2 hours. I got... Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Lindsay. But I'm gonna get off because my girl's about to come down. I can hear her coming down these steps. And you're gonna be like, "You've been on this thing 2 hours. Let's talk. It's time to eat." All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Thank you for all the participation. Il Willis, Ulysses, Leon. I hope I said that right. I hope it was Leon. Was it Leon? Yeah, it was Leon. Okay, you too. And for the people that didn't participate, thank you for joining in and listening. All right, share with your friends, hit that like button, hit that reminder button. So every time I come on, you guys can, and have your questions prepared. I'll answer any personal finance questions. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.